There's me and you both working the social media, just trying to get it out in time. As I've actually left the link to the Twitch stream on the Instagram, as you do. Just make sure we are live and should be. Retweet that one from Twitter. And yep, away we go. Well, last time out, Sheriff Woody took the victory in Bahrain. Who can take it tonight in round 2? Still a long way to go, but we're going to have our answers in just a short 90 minutes from now. We'll see what happens. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to round 2 of Season 8 in our 10-race championship series. As we said, we are in Australia at the Albert Park circuit in Melbourne. A tight, narrow street circuit with a lot of overtaking opportunities, with 4 DRS zones and no shortage of drama, I am sure. And immediately, Silverside Boy subscribing with Tier 1 for 23 months on a 5-month streak. Thank you for that, Mr. Silverside Boy, and welcome to the stream. And I'm noticing as well there's a small spoiler in the Twitch chat, which should provoke a very, very interesting race, I am sure. But I need someone to help me out for the evening and for the action. So what better way to have a comms partnership once again with the lovely Mr. Monkey Boy Kurt.
What better way? I can't think of a better way, to be honest, Cruiser. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself now, but yes, thank you very much. It's good to be back in the comms box alongside yourself for hopefully it's going to be another great Tier 3 race. We had a great one to watch last week out in Bahrain. With, like you say, Sheriff Woody the victor, and now we look forward to see who can perform well first of all in this quality session, and then obviously onto the race afterwards. We've got Button, obviously our pulses from last week in the lobby, but no Reese tonight, who was obviously our P2 man who showed very good pace last time out, but nevertheless we'll look to see who can perform the best tonight out on track.
Yeah, I've just noticed as well from the stream that your mic is a little bit crackly. Hopefully that doesn't ruin the audio for the rest of the stream. Hopefully get that sorted ASAP. But we're going to follow Magic Ram for the tour of Albert Park through the middle sector, which is basically one small chicane and then a never-ending straight, and then into what is known as Mr. Whippy around this track. Turn 8 and turn 9, dangerous corners to get right. As I see a Haas is slowed down now, might just be an Alpine, getting ready to back up and size up their first run. There's a Mercedes ahead. That looks like it's going to be in the way a slight bit there from Magic Ram. JSY trying to stay out of the way as best as they could. Should be okay with that, but I think Magic Ram will be best pleased. Still a long way to go though in a qualifying session, and a lot to improve for Magic Ram at 119.1. It's the benchmark. Let's put that. We'll focus though next up on Button. Last time out, the pole sitter around Bahrain as their Sheriff Woody, the race winner from last time out in Bahrain on a 17.8. So obviously fully backed by a ton of momentum is the Haas driver, but Button knows he does have the pace in qualifying, taking that pole position around Bahrain. Just didn't work out for him in the race, making, I believe it was a 2-stop strategy. Ended up in 4th behind his good friend David Lawface back in the podium, and Williams leading the constructors standings after Bahrain by a sole point over Haas with Sheriff Woody's victory. As we'll have a look towards the final sector, powered by Duracell. And actually, speaking of Williams, Carlos Sainz to Williams, and announced a few hours ago. I don't know about that. That might be interesting. Albon and Sainz, that sounds like a decent partnership. And I'll get your thoughts on that real quickly, Mr. Monkey Boy Kurt. As Button crosses the line, it's a good challenge, Sheriff Woody. Trounces him. A 117.1 for Button.
Yeah, wow. Another very quick lap there from Button. Obviously, like I said, our pole man last time out. Someone can just confirm in the chat if the mic is still cracked, and I've pressed the Xbox button multiple times, so hopefully there's no more issues. But great lap from Button. Panicking waiting at second with a 17.4. But as you say, quickly going on real life F1. Yeah, Carlos Sainz to Williams. Yeah, a bit of a. I mean, we say a bit of an odd one, but there wasn't really many teams left for it to go to, so it's going to be definitely interesting with him and Albon next season. I'm definitely expecting those two to hopefully get some more points for them next season. But as we see a few more drivers come through, Aviation with an 18-1, but it's Wizard of Oz who's gone up to 17-2, trying to challenge Button, just a 10th off him, or less than a 10th off him at the moment.
Yeah, I just caught Oz getting a slight slipstream there from the Alpine of Rainbow. The sole Alpine tonight hoping to get a point or two, as there was Sid sandwiched to the line. An 18-3 puts him roughly on par with Locker, up in 6th is the Red Bull, and Sid in the RB up in 7th. Who else is on the lap? Looks like Novus is the only one on a lap currently, as Rob Sue, the Flow, and Jay, Undisputed, formerly JLFC, are on an outlap. So we'll follow Novus in that Sauber for a final corner. So treacherous to get right at this track. There's a lot of medium speed corners. Microphone is still crackling a little bit, still hopefully get that sorted. As Novus goes ahead of Woody now, up to 4th. Good effort that from the Sauber driver. Rob Sue just starting their lap. The Flow going to start their lap. And Jay Undisputed right behind the Mercedes as well. So the first round of times, still a few to go, but Button, like Bahrain, leading the way. Try to get the audio reset on my end as well. Try and hopefully get Monkey Boy Kurt not quite as R2D2 for the remainder of the... Or is it not? Is it C3PO? Either way, robotic for the remainder of the stream. We'll have a look. Rob Sue. We'll go up to Rob Sue in the Aston Martin. He's the first of the 3 on track. 45.4 in the middle sector. But one thing about sector 2 in this track, if you get that chicane correct at the exit of sector 1 around turn 5 and turn 6, sets you up so well for that run. It can make up easily a 10th or 2. As, oh, Rob! And that can make you lose a 10th or 2 getting on that inside curb. I found that out quite a few times in time trial myself. Curbs are brutal around this track, but Rob will complete the lap, get something on the board, and knows there is room for improvement, as it's an 18-9 for Rob. Looking good, but just a few small mistakes, and it's more than dominoes, it cascades around this track quite badly.
Yeah, unlucky there for Rob Sue. Yeah, like you say, it's a bit of a slide there. I have tried multiple things to sort this mic out, but if this is a little bit of a crap, I think we're just going to have to live with it, because not really what else I can really do, to be honest. Hopefully it's just not overbearing on the ears when I speak. But yeah, just 2 drivers left to set laps, and that is the Flow and Jay. And Jay is coming into the box. Flow is obviously going again. I just had a message from Radical, who will now shortly be joining the session with around 8-9 minutes to go. So he will also be looking to get amongst the top lot in this session.
Maybe worth trying to leave the party and join back up. I might try that, so if you want me to invite you, I'll leave the party and invite you back. So it'll be a few seconds on the pause menu, just to get Monkey Boy Kurt back in the party real quick. Hopefully this sorts out the microphone issues, as we'll scroll down my friends list, which you can't see, but I can assure you there is some people on a friends list, as... might not seem like it, but I do actually have friends. Just not in person. Anyway, hopefully that's it sorted. We'll head down to the Flow. Monkey Boy has joined back up. The Flow in a 44.4. At a final corner for the Mercedes. Takes that quite nicely. Up to 5th. Changed up to 5th midway round the corner just to get the traction. And the Flow, this is looking really quick. It's going to be a 17-0 for the Flow. Puts him now amongst the pack with Button and Oz. Cracking effort that from the Flow.
Yeah, fantastic lap. It's definitely going to be something for everyone else now to try and reach. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. It'd be interesting to see if we can get anyone in the 16s in this Tier 3 session. I definitely think we'll see some 16s on Wednesday in Tier 2, but definitely if we can see some 16s tonight, it'd be very impressive. Got a few more people coming towards the line now, and I think one of them is Sid Sandwich, but I think he's definitely down on his time, and yes, he definitely is. Will be coming into the box. We've then got a Haas coming through, and that's Wizard of Oz on an outlap, so the next one to come across will be Major Allen, and I think he's also down on his time as well. I can't see him better in the 19-1 at this rate. No, he will not, so he will go again. And then an Aston Martin coming through, and that's Robson into the pits. So no one's setting fast laps yet in terms of their second runs, but looks like some people are on their outlaps.
And I just want to say that does simulate the microphone problems have been fixed, or at least bettered. That's why I get confirmation from the Twitch chat at some stage, as we'll actually you're gonna follow Major Allen, formerly Skull Kid, around this lap. He's been in the Haas for a few seasons now in the Ferrari, and he's a 10th down in sector 1. We'll see what he can make up, because a lot of time is made up in the final sector around this track, and he'd get a good launch out of turn 6 and turn 7. You can make up your time in the middle sector as long as you avoid the grass, as that will slow you down. Who knows? Or who knew actually? As 7/10, so I think that might be a sign to get off those tyres as he's drifting it around turn 10. And I think for the Ferrari, it's going to be, back to the pits for him. He's not going to improve too much. Jay's the only one yet to set a lap, so we'll follow him now in the RB Superior team. Totally not driving that this season. We'll see what he can do. Head up towards turn 3 and now turn 4, throwing it in towards turn 3, hoping it sticks, then turn 4. Careful not to run too wide. Keeps it within the yellow lines, so to say, or pointing the white lines. Then around turn 5 and the dangerous turn 6, you've got to just throw it, hope it sticks, and use as much of that curb on the outside as you can. And Jay does quite well with it. So now it's just the endless run towards turn 9 and turn 10, the dangerous high-speed chicane on this track that will make or break your lap. Faring quite well though is the RB. It's going to go up. It's a 45.0 in a purple middle sector, so that's looking good. Also running a bit of a lower downforce setup. Right now he's going to be looking roughly towards Sheriff Woody, who I think is going to complete their lap in just a few seconds time, heading around the final few corners. Sandwiching them is JSY on their outlap. So we'll see what Woody can do, as I see a time there from Locker up to 5th. What's next? Sheriff Woody has pitted, so that was them. Might have been in an in-lap. JSY is going to start their lap as Jay is going to finish their lap. What's the time here for the RB? It's going to be it's an 18.1. So puts them ahead of their teammate Sid. So all in all, a good lap from Jay. Still plenty of time to be found though, as we have 5 minutes left. And a good evening to the Tattooed Star. Saying hello from Milton Keynes. Good evening to you, Mr. Tattooed Star. And what are you doing? Why aren't you here?
I'm on the Milton Keynes. Get in there, Tattooed Star. Sid has redeemed a drink. I hope he's going to redeem a co-coms drink as well, because if he doesn't, I'm going to have a drink anyway. Because I've got a lovely Kraken black rum and coke sitting beside me, so you better do. But yeah, 5 minutes to go in the session then. We've got a few people out on track. One of them is Aviation, who is almost half a second up. This would put him up to around about P3, P4. I think we'll just follow him round for the last part of his lap, as everyone else will start to come in and get fresh tyres, or will be waiting for around that sort of 3-minute mark to go out on their final runs. But here comes Aviation. Was quite quick last time out in qualifying in Bahrain, was P3 on the grid, but didn't have a very good race, was out before the first lap ended. But here he comes. This could be pole potentially. It's almost is. 3 thousandths behind Button, and it puts him into P3 for now, the same position he started Bahrain at.
Well, hopefully it's not quite a repeat of Bahrain for JSY, but so far a Mercedes 1 and 3. So that's quite good, and Tattoo Star saying they're attending college. Apologies for that, and all the best. Education first, FPRL second. JSY is in third. As we've seen Oz in their outlap just slowing, getting themselves ready and sized up. We'll go down to Rob Sue, 4/10 up in their current lap, and that will put them only ahead of David, just outside the top 10. There's still time to improve here for the Aston Martin driver. A ton of battery left, going to use all of it around the final corner, down to the start-finish line. It's going to be a 17.7, so he's found time, nearly a second and a quarter. He's now up in 9th.
And their Button improved there, just in P2. Only by a little bit, though. It doesn't put him up any places into provisional pole, but it was about 600ths of a second quicker. Gives him a little bit more breathing space between him and Aviation, albeit it's still very low in terms of the amount of distance between them. As we've now got Sheriff Woody coming onto his flying lap. I'm just trying to see if we've got anyone coming across the line. And I don't think we have at the moment. There is McLaren coming around, that's Panic End. And I think there is also is it Radical? Radicals, yes, it is Radical coming around on his first flying lap. And it's, he's the back end there. And I'm thinking now, does Radical come in the pits and abandon this? Because I mean, I probably would, but I don't know if he'd get out in time. No, he's going to go for it and maybe then get all the battery back on the out lap again and then have one more run at it. But this is only going to be good enough, unfortunately for him, for P15. So he's going to now have to turn that battery off, get it all back, and then have one more run at the end. There's only 2 minutes left of the session now. We've still got a few drivers in the pits. Rainbow, Jay, Robsu, Locker and Aviation still in the pits, but I would expect to see them out in the next few seconds.
But Buttons just went in the pits, so he's going to be cutting this very, very fine as the Williams driver. And tell a lie, that's him done.
Oh, and there we go.
Didn't expect that. Wow. Wizard of Oz. Wow. Well, I think that's not quite Wizard of Oz, but more, yeah, just probably. I don't have the words for that. That's caught me completely by surprise. A 16.9. Well, I suppose
just a heads up, Cruiser. We got Panic N coming through. He's 3 tenths up. This could challenge Wizard of Oz. Could potentially also be in the 16s. He's coming across the line right as we speak now.
Close. Oh, 16.9 as well. He's 300ths down. Now, if Oz wins this, he'll find out what it's like to be a Ferrari driver at Monza. That's all I'm gonna say. If he's on pole tonight. Radical is going to have that one more lap. He did get a battery charge, but that fuel is what I'm concerned about for the Red Bull driver. And no, that fuel is going to cost him. Oh dear, Radical, that's not what he needs. Major Allen is going to have one more run. He's not quite going to better at 19.1. David's up minimally in his time. Started 5th out in Bahrain. It just hasn't happened so far for the Williams driver, but can find some time. It might get him in the top 10 maybe around this final sector if he just nails it. He doesn't have a lot of battery left to go for that run to the line though. As around the final corner goes David. Is this going to put him into the top 10? He needs to be an 18.1. It's going to be an 18.6. He lost time in that final sector. So 13th place for David. But all in all, I don't think that's going to bother him too much. He will stay out of trouble, hopefully, around the opening lap. Who else is on the lap? There's a yellow flag. That looks like Locker. Just getting himself ready for his lap. He's got 15 seconds left. Actually, no, he's going to start that lap. So that would have been one of the RBs. That might have been Jay, who's not going to make the lap in time, I don't think, if that is who it is. But Locker's on their run as the checker flag is about to fall. Rob Sue isn't going to make it. Neither is Jay. So it was Jay who went wide there, as there's a Ferrari in the background. That looks like Magic Ram. It's not going to improve either from 11th. So now all eyes are on the flow, and JSY, maybe Woody and Novus, who's actually going to complete the lap in the pit lane. So now Woody's not going to improve either, so it's now down to the Mercedes duo who are actually towing each other along. The flow giving the tow to JSY, and now it's down to what Aviation can do around this final set. He's got to find around 2 tenths to challenge Oz, and the flow is done. So the best he's done is going to be third. He's on the grass, and Jay's gone. So easy done.
That was not what he wanted. So I think now the only driver that can really make an impact is FPRL Locker now. As he now comes around the final corner, he's up by minimal time, only about 200ths of a second. We might get a bit of a tow coming across the line. Here he comes, FPRL Locker. And he does lose out a bit actually in the end. Panic N comes into the pits, and I think that is your quali done. Sid Sandwich is the only one, and no, he is also invalidated. So there we have it then. Wizard of Oz takes pole around Australia with Panic N in second. Both those two, the only ones in the 16s. It's the Flow in third, Button in fourth, and Aviation in fifth. But once again, very, very close. Definitely, especially down from first to eighth.
I haven't watched The Wizard of Oz to know any references for this, but regardless, I think that's probably the best lap he has done. And yeah, still completely by surprise, a 16.9, breaking the 117 barrier, which originally I thought the flow was comfortable with, but Oz and Panic N have broken into 16s and they share the front row. The flow is in third. Button started in pole in Bahrain, is now fourth. JSY started third, is now fifth. Our championship leader Woody winning in Bahrain, down in sixth, have to do it the hard way as well. Novus in 7th. Locker, he'll be satisfied with 8th, I'm sure. Rob Sue and Jay in the top 10. Magic Ram, Sid, David, Major Allen, Radical and Rainbow round out the 16-car field for tonight's Australian Tier 3 Grand Prix. As we head to the pit lane and our intermission, what do you want to talk about?
We can talk about Sergio Perez, whether he's going to stay or not, if he's going to get demoted, if he's going to leave F1 completely. And
it seems like
who's lying to us? Hold on a second. We were told it was going to be a rainy race. Unless it's going to happen later on, it is looking very sunny out there.
Well, we get ready and set for some rain. We're all used to it up in the United Kingdom. But it seems like the rumour is, or the word is rather, that Sergio Perez will be staying at Red Bull. So they've just gifted the constructors to McLaren, and Radical confirms that Perez is staying. Honestly, I don't think he had an option.
Well, it's this thing because they were saying about obviously the RB driver's going to replace him potentially, and someone did take a video that was posted online yesterday of Christian Horner speaking with the RB team principal and Daniel Ricciardo, which everyone was thinking, he's asking him to step up to Red Bull, but yeah, interesting. I think Perez had a massive chance yesterday to really show the team what they're capable of, and really just didn't perform at all. The start didn't help him. He then got eaten up by Piastri and everyone else, and kind of just lost out on DRS for everyone, and everyone just decided to, right, okay, well, I'll overtake you as well then, and it's down in P7. Well, it would have been P8 after George Russell's disqualification, but I don't know. It's difficult. I think Isaac Hadjar, to be fair, in F2 definitely is worthy of an RB seat at least, to be honest. I'm not sure if he'll get it or not, but that RB seat's not signed up yet for next season. I'm wondering, are they going to give it to him? He's won 4 feature races in F2, so who knows, potentially.
Well, they're not short of options, it's just who they choose. So that means they're going to end up with, just for reference, somebody who's not from the junior programme. So, don't know why you bother being in the Red Bull Junior programme to begin with. Just looking in the chat as well, what have we got? Tattoo Stars asking for our reviews on the George Russell disqualification. Cruel, to say the least. Very, very cruel, but I mean, if you, it's underweight. This car's underweight by 1.5 kilos. But I'm going to say this, if it's any other track where they can pick up as much rubber as they can, then you'd have got away with it. Yeah,
it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's harsh, but at the same time as it's being harsh, they've got rules and regulations in place. So if it's under that 798, which is the limit, then it's under that 798. So, you can't be going around giving people leeway of so much or anything. So, obviously the team have took responsibility. Lewis Hamilton obviously inherits the win, which I know Nigel Piggle will be extremely happy about.
True.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, Russell made the strategy work. He deserved the win, to be honest. But yeah, just one of those unfortunate things for him. But the Mercedes have been very well the last sort of 3-4 races. They've got pole positions, they've got race wins, even when they've not been expected. But yeah, I mean, I think this is the closest F1 has been now, definitely over 10 years, since we had that sort of 2011, 2012 sort of days where we had about 4 or 5 teams fighting for wins. It's definitely like that.
Not true. I didn't know I had it that easy. I got into F1 during that era. How easy I had it back then. And then, yeah. And Tattoo started asking about the Carlos to Williams. Again, there wasn't really anywhere else he could go. But I don't think it's a bad move for Carlos. Because Williams have gotten better than they were. It wasn't difficult to get better than 2019, for Christ's sake. But they've definitely got better. Just if they can get a good enough car to be fighting consistently for like 9th and 10th. Because, I mean, I don't fancy Alpine's chances with the way that team's gone.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, Alpine are probably performing a little bit better at the moment than Williams, but at the start of the season, you would have said maybe Williams are the ones performing better. Um, you know, Logan Sargent, he's tried his best, but at the end of the day, he's just not really good enough for F1, unfortunately. And I think with Carlos in the car, you're going to see that Williams up there a lot more. I think, Sainz has got potential, to even be faster than Albon, to be honest. So, if Albon is getting that car in the sort of like 10th, ninth places, some races, then why can't Carlos go even better than that? So, yeah, I mean, even people saying potentially, why doesn't he have a year out or a couple of years out like some drivers have had and then come back when there's a more sort of attractive driver on the table? But, these drivers want to stay in F1 because there's that risk that if they do leave, that they're not going to get another driver for the rest of their career. So, yeah, you can understand the move, but it'll definitely be an interesting one as the whole grid now is coming round to the start finish straight to get in position. And interestingly enough, everyone virtually has gone for hards by 4 drivers. We've got the pole sitter Wizard of Oz on mediums, along with P11 Magic Ram and last place Rainbow, and Novus 7th place in the kick Sauber on the softs. So I'm expecting him to shoot right up this field in the early stages.
Oh, Locker. Oh, disqualified along with Aviation, but I think we'll go on board with Novus just for a better perspective than this. Thank you, Codemasters. Yeah, we'll jump on board with Novus and just see the perspective of the start. As I see, we have 5 lights ahead of the drivers. Novus starting in the soft, wanting to get a decent start here. As Woody's jumped the start, but we're underway. That's going to be a drive-through penalty for Sheriff Woody. Our race winner's had a terrible start. Despite leading the way in towards turn 1, he's going to cut the chicane and give back all the places he's lost. Has Woody got a problem here that we don't know about? Well, Button's got problems. He's been spun round there. Not sure by who, but as we lead in towards turn 3, it's Oz who leads it away. Panic end up to second. Maintaining second, the flow. JSY Rob Sue with a brilliant start up to 5th. Magic Ram, Locker, Novus, Sid and Jay in the top 10. But Woody's had a terrible start with that jump start. And Button now mired at the back as well.
Yeah, I mean, once again, though, it is Novus that is coming into contact with drivers on the first lap. I think he's just a bit too hot-headed at the start of these races because he's definitely lost some end plate. And unfortunately for Sheriff Woody and Button, they've gone right to the back of the pack. Sheriff Woody even more. The race winner from the first round having an awful start, obviously with that jump start drive-through penalty and also spinning around to the back of the pack. Very unlucky for him, but Wizard of Oz 1.5 seconds ahead in the early stages of this first lap, and that's probably because 1, he got a good start, and 2, the medium tyres. But if we look at the top 5, they're now 2.9 seconds ahead of 6th place Magic Ram, who is almost causing a bit of a train behind him. He's got Novus, Sid, Locker and Jay, as Novus now boxes. So does FPRL Locker as well, who's probably also got some wing damage. So drama early on, but it's Wizard of Oz that takes the early lead from pole position, a 1.5 second advantage after lap 1.
Yeah, I've seen Locker with a bit of front left end plate damage, so quite a few drivers getting into the wars and blows at turn 1. Woody 7 is drive through, which is going to leave him at the back as well. Novus and Locker having to get wing changes too. Button, it's the only way is up for Button, to be honest, as he's down 9 places from the start. Magic Ram and Sid kept the noses clean, they're up 5 places. Alan's up in 9th, so he's had a good start as well. He's got ahead of David as he's in 10th. As they've got DRS now, as we looked in this midfield fight. Magic Ram, Sid, Jay, Alan and David and Radical hanging on to the back of this train as well in that fight for 10th with David. He's going to have to go around the outside of the Williams. Radical just sitting back, you're not going to make that move this early in the race. As David a little twitchy there out of turn 10, but Radical's just going to sit back and let that unfold. So a Haas of Sheriff Woody having a terrible start, but their teammate Oz leading the way as we start lap 3's broke that DRS gap to Panic End. 1.8 seconds between the Haas and the McLaren. The Flow and Aviation, JSY still 3rd and 4th. Rob Sue getting a bit detached, and again like Bahrain, a no man's land 5th for the Aston Martin driver, as Edo's Sid Sandwich making the move in towards turn 1 against Magic Ram. Going to use the DRS to his advantage. Down the inside he goes, and Magic Ram gives him the space. Sid thanks, says thank you very much to the Ferrari, is up now into 6th. as Jay Undisputed now looking to make the move as Magic Ram looks down the inside, defending it very aggressively there from the other RB, not wanting to lose another place, as Jay's got frontline damage as well. So that's now going to be another pit stop due, and actually the Skull Kid, well, Major Allen rather, but the Skull Kid have frontline damage. No, he doesn't. So that's why you have to keep me nosing around here. Sid now up to 6th, and Jay's going to be up in 8th as a move up in 2nd place. There goes the flow ahead of Panic End. JSY sitting back, and the flow is not wasting any further time behind that McLaren. He's up now into 2nd place as Magic Ram now and Sid Sandwich wheel to wheel around turn 9 and turn 10. Still on the exit. The Ferrari's ready to DRS, and now Jay, oh my goodness me. Magic Ram defending from Sid forces Jay to slam in the brakes there, and will the RB let him through? He will. So Sid letting him through as Jay's done wide a little bit. Now Allen through the middle of them. He's going to make this work. Fair play there to Major Allen. He's made that work. Nice. Oh dear, it's came to blows. There goes Sid.
Wow.
Oh,
what a battle we've just seen there. A lot of bumping of wheels there. It's just about I would say on the limit, maybe a bit over it, but very, very entertaining to watch from our point of view. But Sid is unluckily the one that loses out there and drops back a bit further. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at this already, and I'm just saying this now after 4 laps, and look at the gap there is between the top 5 and 6. There's 6.8 seconds already. There's a yellow flag out, and it's Novus that's off at the back. And has he knocked any wing up? I don't think he has. I think it's just a spin for the Sauber. But he's once again not having a great race. But yeah, Wizard of Oz, 2.6 seconds is the advantage. So he's still gaining on Panic End. To be fair, he's been helped out by Panic and the Flow fighting away. That's obviously allowing him to gain some time. But as we always know with these tyres, the hards are definitely going to go longer than the mediums. So he'll be wanting to try and get as much advantage as possible before that advantage comes back to the hard runners. But, I mean, we can see it once again now. The top 5 again, 7.5 seconds is the gap between 5th and 6th. This is almost like 2 separate races now. It's a race for 1st and a race for 6th place, Cruiser.
That is. I think we'll have a look at this battle for 6th place. Magic Ram still holding on, but his teammate Major Allen faring well so far as the Ferrari. Jay's up in 8th, but does have that front line damage to carry to his next pit stop. David and Radical now back in the points as there goes Major Allen looking down the inside of Magic Ram. Just gonna let him off of that one. As there goes Novus again at the back, struggling around this track, not faring well as Jay is still nursing that front left end plate damage. It's enough though for him to carry on safely, but I think David and Radical will want to see the back of that RB no longer, as there goes the Flow again making the move in towards turn 9, getting back ahead of Panic End. JSY is just electing to sit back and watch that unfold, as there goes Jay looking for the move around the outside of Major Allen. Not going to happen. Further back, David and Radical still going line of stern through turn 9 and turn 10, as there goes Major Allen. He's had a terrible run there, and that's going to invite Jay down the inside and around the outside at turn 11, and that's now the RB back up to 7th place. Radical and David just sitting back watching this unfold, but Magic Ram, he's losing time here to Rob Sue, but at the same time he's managing his race at a pace he's comfortable with, and that's what's important. Any points is good for the constructors standings for the Ferrari team, but as well he's got to be careful, mindful behind them, because Jay looks like he is the faster of the two right now, even without the DRS.
Yeah, and Wizard of Oz are going to once again be loving what's happening behind him. Panic End and the Flow fighting once again. He's gained another 4 attempts now. The gap up to around 3 seconds as Jay now makes a move on Magic Ram. And now, can Jay now try and break away from this pack? That's definitely what we'll be hoping to do on those hard tyres. Really, Magic Ram should be the fastest out of this lot in the early stages on the mediums, but seems to be struggling. And that's the whole reason we've got this train for P6, as we can see that Magic Ram has already dropped around 5 tenths to Jay, but he's now going to get the DRS. And as Sheriff Woody is out, and is that going to be a safety car? It is, and that's going to bring everyone back together. So the race winner from last week is out of this race. and he's gone off at the corner that everyone seems to fear in the race. Not so much in qualifying, but in the race when you're obviously carrying a lot more fuel, it can make the car very uneasy. And Wizard of Oz, the leader, has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, and he won't be able to serve that now. He's obviously coming in to get some fresh tyres, but he's not going to be able to serve that drive-through. So not only is he boxing, he's now also going to have to then come in once the safety car ends. That means that Panic End is going to inherit the lead of this race on lap 7. He will now pick up an aviation, picking up a 3-second penalty under the safety car. That's not ideal either, but we're having a few people pit. So Wizard of Oz, but we can now count him out as he's going to have a drive-through. And Jay and Sid coming into the box, and Sid's going to have to wait for Jay. And they're all really behind. You know, they're going on to medium tyres. The mediums won't get to the end. So at the moment, I think the upper hand after this safety car is still going to be with these front runners of Panic End, the Flow Aviation and Robsu. But it allows everyone else now to catch up, and maybe we'll see some other drivers trying to hold on to that leading pack.
Terrible lap there for the Haas driver. Sheriff Woody, a race winner in Bahrain, is out on lap 6 of the Australian Grand Prix, and Oz getting a penalty, a drive-through penalty, for speeding under the safety car even when they entered the pit lane. So unless he's timed that just wrong, I suppose just counts in horseshoes and hand grenades in lead racing. But it's a what if, and I think that is a guarantee that this race, it's fell away for the Haas team. So it's now to be if they can claw back whatever they can. But Oz can get to the end, so that's going to be in the back of their mind. They will still have a chance, even with that drive-through, which you'll have to serve a lap after the safety car enters the pit lane. Because if, oh no, Radical, what have you done? It's a 10 seconds for hitting David for somewhere. I was going to say that too. Radical was actually looking for an overtake on David Lawface just as the safety car was deployed. He actually nearly drew level with him.
Well,
and now he's got a 10-second penalty.
I'm very surprised Radical's not coming to the box there. He could have served the drive. He could have served that 10 seconds now behind the safety car, and I have a feeling that the safety car will be in the next lap because everyone's caught up to it. So now he's going to have to come in the box and serve it in the race. So I guess he doesn't want to lose his hard tyres, but when you've got a 10-second penalty looming over your head, would it have not been the best decision to come in, get it served, and then caught up to the back of the pack? I don't know. But, yeah, very interesting there from Radical. I don't know if it was a Constantina effect ahead. He didn't really realise or brake early enough. But one person it has brought back into the race, in fact 2 people, is Locker and Novus. Obviously they're at the back of the pack, 14th and 15th. But they're nowhere near as far off the lead as obviously what they were before the safety car. So they can now try and get back into this race. But this safety car will be in the next lap. It will be Panic End to take them away. And the question is, how long does Panic End and everyone else on the hards go on the tyres? I would think they're going to go to probably at least lap 18, lap 19, prior that there's no more safety cars.
Locker can get to the end. He is on the hards. He will have to manage them though a little bit. But he could technically get to the end of the... Oh! That's a bit close there between Oz and Magic Ram. We'll play to the Haas driver for keeping out the way. A Silverside boy has redeemed a safety car question. We'll pay you back on the next safety car, should there be one, Mr. Silverside boy. And thank you for the drink redemptions too. So lap 8 under the safety car, we're going to be back underway around Albert Park. Panic End inheriting the lead after our race leader Wizard of Oz picking up a drive-through penalty under the safety car, making their pit stop to hards. Can technically get to the end, but they've got around 15 seconds looming over their head from that drive-through as they get back underway to start lap 9. And guarantee you we are back underway, even though it still says safety car on the top left of your screen. But Panic End breaking away from the flow, and JSY, you picked up a time penalty too for corner cutting, or rather for track limits rather, a 3-second penalty as Edwards button making the move in Radical, and Oz dispatching of Magic Ram, but that will be nout for the Haas as Radical's getting swarmed up a little bit in that midfield. Looks like you might have a problem He's letting the pack through, and Radical is not going full throttle. I think Radical does have some form of problem, but not as big as Sid. He's lost his front wing in a collision there. I'm not sure with who, but Sid and Radical have had a nightmare start, and Rainbow too. So maybe Rainbow had a collision with Sid? I don't know. Anyway, Major Allen now making a move in Magic Ram up now to 6th place as the Ferrari drive, but 2 seconds behind Oz, which will then grow because Rob Sue is now a second behind the Mercedes, and Oz is going to go down the inside. Rob doesn't have to fight this too hard. He's not making it easy for him as Rainbow's lost out, and that's a virtual safety car, and that's another lap where Oz can't serve his drive-through.
Yeah, I wonder if he knows that. Is he going to try and come in? It'd be silly if he does. Oh, no. I think he thought about it, but he's not come in.
He definitely teased us there.
Surely Radical now has to come in and serve that 10 seconds. He definitely will. Yeah, here he comes. I hope he doesn't retire, but... Oh, Novus is back in as well, so he's lost some end plate as well. Here comes Radical. Sid Sandwich is also in the box. And there we go. There is Radical serving that 10 second. He's going to go on to medium tyres. The VSC is still out at the moment. So... Oh, no, it is. No, sorry. It is a full safety car. It is a full safety car.
Oh. Well, you know what? For Radical, that's actually worked out quite nicely.
Yeah, that is... I don't know why it didn't come up for us. Obviously, the bug with this game. But no, the full safety car is now out. And now, we're looking at... who are we looking at here that can go to the end? Well, Sid Sandwich can now go to the end. If there's no more safety cars. Radical... Locker, obviously spent most of those 4 laps of hard tyres behind the safety car, so he can now, I would have thought, definitely go to the end. Wizard of Oz can't serve the drive-through, which is really annoying for him. But he will obviously be able to go to the end now as he serves more laps behind the safety car. I mean, if he keeps his nose clean, I think Sid Sandwich could be on for a good result here, but he just needs to keep it on the track. But still very early on.
Yeah, him and Locker for that matter. Locker can get to the end, and because Oz having that drive-through, Locker could actually yet be a net leader. He's pitted on lap 6 for the hards. Oz pitted on lap 7 under the first safety car for his set of hard compound tyres. But all this is going to do is just stretch out the hard compound tyres further and further and further. And we might yet see some soft compound tyres at the end of this race. I don't know, but it depends. All depends on strategy, because you don't expect to see any pit stops for the hard runners until around lap 16, lap 17 maybe, if you're going to be pitting from mediums. And Silverside Boy has redeemed the safety car question and has asked who is going to be in that second Mercedes seat, which is still up for grabs. I think we all know the answer, to be honest, but if I'm to throw one name, just throw a name up in the air and just say it to be different. Mick Schumacher.
I mean, that would be great. I think it would be great for the Schumacher name, I think. But yeah, I don't think Mick did obviously what he could, nowhere near as what was needed for Haas, to be honest. He looked good against Nikita Mazepin, but as soon as Kevin Magnussen stepped in the team, he basically got shown up really by him. So
I don't know about that.
I think
I think he was better than Kevin. But the only thing that kept Kevin that seat was getting pole around Brazil.
Yeah,
I think that's the only thing that kept Kevin that seat.
Well, I don't know about that, but obviously, we can agree, disagree on that. But in terms of who I think's going to go in the seat, I don't think it will be announced till right near the end of the season, because I think Toto Wolff is going to be monitoring how well Kimi Antonelli does in F2. Do I think Kimi Antonelli deserves the Mercedes seat? Honestly, no. I don't think he's done quite enough in Formula 2. You've got the likes of Isaac Hadjar and Gabriel Bortoletto who have performed better, who have got less chance of getting a seat. So, I mean, I think you have to go with Kimi Antonelli, but only because I don't think there's really anyone else that can really fill it as we now getting going away. And Pat Ketton really broke there at the last corner. We almost made the two Mercedes hit each other, but we're once again away. And he gets a good launch though. 8 temps already pulled away on that straight. As we've got Button and David Lowface battling, and now Wizard of Oz has got another 3 seconds of penalties. And that's not ideal for his cause. Oh, he's going around the outside of Aviation, but he's gone a bit too deep, and Aviation's going to come back.
Oh dear. Been all manner of chaos at the back. Jay undisputed, making quite a meal of that. I don't know what he was trying to do, but it's resulted in Radical getting wind damage and Locker getting bogged down as well. I'm not sure if he's got wind damage either, doesn't look like he does, but Radical pitting to serve a 10-second penalty has now just got a bit of wind damage for his troubles, as well as I still don't know what Jay was trying there, as there was David letting him back through, and now Locker looking to get immediately back ahead of the RB, and he's going to. So Locker now up to 11. He's put 3 seconds between himself and Novus on that restart. It's been a nightmare for them, but Novus has survived that restart. Button's up in 8th, but yet to make his pit stop. Sid is in 9th, and he can get to the end though, can the RB, as Edo's Rob soon just wide down the inside. Dozy Aston now the outside for the final chicane, and JSY holds on to that, but he's been caught out badly there, and now Oz can serve that drive-through from what was 3rd place. He's now going to drop to the back of the field, but he's still to keep his nose clean, and as long as he just keeps 8 lap times consistent, as I know it's Jay having a massive snap there out of turn 1. Rob Sue's heckling and hassling that Mercedes, who's now 3 seconds behind the flow. JSY did a terrible restart here, and in all of this, Major Allen's now up in 5th, fighting with these two for a net 3rd. Now, they do say practice makes perfect sometimes, and that is what's happening here for the Ferrari, as Sid is now unleashed behind Button, who's had a bad restart as well. He's lost out to the RB, the Sauber of Novus, and Magic Ram as well on 12 lap old mediums, so Magic Ram will no doubt have to pit, and I expect that in around a lap or two to set of hards.
Yeah, Panic End and the Flow getting very, very close together, and they've pulled away massively. Oh, and the Flow, there's the commentator's curse for tonight. Got 3 seconds of penalties, and Panic End's going to be loving that. But I'm just noticing, I'm about to say that Sid Sandwich is on 3 lap old hards, and he's up in 7th position at the moment. He's loving life. However, I'm also going to say, Cruiser, look at that sky. I think that rain that was being mentioned is about to come sooner rather than later.
Certainly looking a little bit more cloudy, so I might be in the mindset of the likes of Panic, Flow, Rob, JSY is there. Oh, Magic Ram's gone at the final chicane. He's at the penultimate corner. He's been spun, or has spun on his own. There was Major Allen having to defend now from Novus in towards turn 1, as so does JSY down the inside of Rob Sue. Novus makes it work on Major Allen. He's now caught on the outside and has to check up there against the Aston Martin, who's now boxing them in against Major Allen. He'll round the outside of Rob Sue, and Allen always lost the rear. Not quite there for the Ferraris. They have to lose out now to Novus, and Sid is now right behind them too, but Sid Sandwich might actually be on for a half-decent result if he gets past the Ferrari, who's not making it easy for him in the slightest. Now around turn 6, Sid has to make that move now and make the most of these fresh tyres, because that sky, it was once bright and sunny, is now looking very, very overcast. There's a safety car as well. Magic Ram again has hit problems and has hit the wall. So with that rain which was scheduled, who dares to blink?
Well, I mean, if you're on the hards, you definitely don't box if rain is coming, because obviously you're going to have to wait until it comes. You don't want to come in, get on a set of mediums and have to box again for wets. But the drivers are going to know how far the rain is out. We're not going to know that, but it's looking extremely overcast. What will Panic End do? He's going to stay out. So does the Flow. Aviation stays out, and so does Rob Sue. Everyone's staying out for now. No one boxing, apart from maybe a couple of people with wing damage. The Wizard of Oz now is back up into 11th, and will be obviously on the train again with this other safety car coming out. Here comes Radical, David Lowface, and Magic Ram into the box now. Here comes Radical. On goes a set of fresh mediums and a new front wing. David Lowface boxes for Williams, and on goes a set of softs and a new front wing. So maybe David putting the softs on gives an indication potentially that the rain is not too far away.
Him and Magic Crammer boxing for softs. So they might just want to try and just scythe through the field before the rain arrives. Or even at that, just either keep my nose clean or just not burn a set of mediums, who knows. But anyway, lap 15, we're halfway through what has been a chaotic and hectic Australian Grand Prix in our Tier 3 category at FPRL. And while we do have this intermission at the halfway stage, if you guys want to support FPRL, we stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/FP Racing League. If you guys want to hit that follow button and support the Twitch channel, help us grow to 750 followers before the big 1,000, 4 digits and beyond. And for tuning into FPRL and watching the streams, you will earn channel points, which you can use to redeem. You can redeem a drink redemption for the commentary team, a safety car question, a commentator or impersonator. We apologise in advance for how terrible it will be. Or a truth or dare. Oh, look at that, I've just redeemed a truth or dare. So this is open to the Twitch chat. This is a freebie on me, so choose any one of the commentary team to do a truth or dare, which they will have to say on stream. Keep it PG. Thankfully Nigel Piggle's not here, otherwise it would be like Sing Nicki Minaj Anaconda or something, I don't know. Tattoo Stars actually said that they are gutted they'd missed this race because they like the chaos. They liked the Mad Max of FPRL. That's well, I say Mad Max, but not quite Max Verstappen. But as well, for supporting the Twitch channel, we welcome that gratefully and thank you very much. And we will have a link to our Discord server, which you will find in our Twitch chat. Nightbot will drop a link to our Discord server. You will find it on our social media platforms on Instagram at FairPlayRL, X, formerly Twitter, as well, under the same tag, FairPlayRL, and our YouTube, where all of our races are uploaded from Twitch directly to YouTube. And that's how we've actually recently got a brand new driver in Tier 2, which you will see hopefully on Wednesday night's Rowan, making their debut, and myself and Monkey Boy Kurt taking to the track around Melbourne and Albert Park. Hopefully it's not quite as bad as this. I say as bad as this. It's not quite as hectic as this, because I want a nice clean race to try and pick up from a terrible disappointment in Bahrain. And Silverside Boy has requested for you, Monkey Boy Kurt, to do somewhat of a truth or dare, to do the Shaggy from Scooby-Doo voice.
Well, it's coming up on
Obviously.
me that you've redeemed it. Has you redeemed it for Gary, or?
I redeemed it as an open door for the Twitch chat.
Okay. Well, you like always, we've got to wait till something dramatic happens. I mean, if you asked me to do this about 4 or 5 laps ago, you'd have been quids in. But you've got to hope now that lots of more action happens. Otherwise, get the best out of the old Zoinks Scoob impression, as Panic End is now backing up the field once again. I hope he doesn't do what he did last time he backed up the field into the last corner, as we almost had a Mercedes pile-up. But no, he's gone even earlier, and he's caught the flow off guard again. And there we go, that's already 8 attempts pulled away. And I think the Mercedes pair have to try and work together here, but the only thing is they've both got 3-second time penalties, which Panic End will obviously know about. Robsu at the moment is a dark horse in this race, and there's the rain cruiser. It started raining as of right now.
Oh dear, this is not going to work for the Mercedes team unless it's light enough they can survive it. But who's going to pit first? Will it be the Flow or Aviation? Who's going to get first priority, or rather be the first one to blink in that team? But Novus up in 5th. He's recovered this race quite remarkably well for the Sauber. He's right behind Rob Sue, and I don't think we're going to see any more DRS, as there's Radical right behind G Undisputed, and Major Allen defending from Sid Sandwich, but it's all in vain. Sid going around the outside as it was Locker making it 3 wide almost against the Ferrari. Locker's going to have to brave it around the outside of turn 9. He filters in line. Major Allen survives that attack, but Locker is right behind him. Allen's in a poor run out of turn 9. And turn 10, Locker is there, Button is there, Oz is there on their comeback drive from a drive-through penalty with 3 wide here, as Button is the first one to back out of that. Locker's in 7th, Oz is in 8th, Allen's now in 9th, And Button looking for a move in the penultimate corner, not quite. He is in 10th. As all goodness me, who's going to blink first as the rain begins to fall?
It's the
Around
flow.
Australia, Locker's pitted, the flow is pitted, and so has Rob Sue. Panic End, the race leader, has stayed out. Oh goodness, as if we didn't need any more drama. We've got Major Allen in the pits as well, along with, as I say, Rob Sue, the Flow, Locker, and the Ferrari of Major Allen. They are all pitting for Inters. Now let's see what happens from here.
Yeah, well, Robsu somehow he's leapfrogged the flow, and Robsu now is in the prime position. He hasn't got a 3-second penalty. He's just got to hope now that the Inters are the better tyre now to be on. We're going to watch the gap between him and Magic Ram. It is 11.5 seconds. Now let's see who's gaining. At the moment, it looks like the soft tyres are just a bit better. 11.8, 11.7. It's very, very tight. And now, no, it looks like Robson is now gaining on Magic Ram. You would expect to see the likes of Panic End, Aviation, Novus all box this lap. This is going to be extremely tight as they come in for...
Panic End on wide at turn 10. This is JSY's incentive for the overtake's going to be around the outside of the McLaren. Panic End breaks later. That's going to be too deep, is it? JSY looking for the cut back on the exit. Novus gets a snap of Novus there. It is so slippery out there. JSY now down the inside at turn 12. Novus twitching, trying to challenge them. But surely it's going to be the pit stop window now. As the flow's got ahead of Rob Sue, everyone is going to be filtering into the pits. But that gap that was around 20 seconds after the pit stop has now stayed at around 19 seconds. Panic End's got 10 seconds! That's his race all but over as well. Sid carries on. Sid carries on ahead of Oz in second. I can't back that decision.
No, I can't back it either. The flow's got past Robsu. This is Robsu's chance. He's got to try and stay now with the flow. As we've now got the cars coming out of the box. Here comes Aviation. And Robsu just about gets past him. And this is now going to be fantastic to the line. How long is the rain going to last? The three out in front.
Novus is pitted for hards. Novus and Panic End are pitted for dries.
No, that is the wrong decision unless they think this rain's only going to last a few laps and it's going to stop. This is all turned into one mental race to watch as the front three of Radical, Sid and Wizard of Oz. Maybe they also think this rain isn't going to last that long. We don't know in the commentary box here, but this is very, very exciting to watch. The last 10 laps now of this Grand Prix, and if Wizard of Oz, Sid and Radical do pit, they're obviously going to lose out. The flow's only 13. The DRS is now disabled. So now is the time, surely, to come in for Inters. And I'm wondering if this front three are going to come in, or are they going to try and stay out? And Robsu's now got past the flow. So now Robsu is now into the net lead of this race. He's having an absolutely fantastic race. Like I said, he's been the dark horse the whole time. He started in P9 and now will inherit the lead as all three of them come into the box. Wizard of Oz, Sid Sandwich and Radical. So Robsu now will take the lead of this race. And I think the amount of chaos we've had in those last 2 laps, that gets a big zoinks, Rud Scoop.
Hey, there we go. There's your incentive, Mr. Silverside Boy. As actually Sid Sandwich, he's made this work brilliantly. He's going to be out in 6th place though. He's behind Novus as there was Locker using some teleportation abilities at Red Bull. Obviously invested in that while debating Sergio Perez's departure. But Novus, yeah, he's made the wrong call on dry tyres. Sid Sandwich has left him absolutely, I say he's left him standing, but more like swimming actually. Novus has actually hit major problems there. Yeah, he's got no grip. Pitting for dries was the wrong call. Well done, Jay, for checking up there. And Radical's going to go through now up in 10th. Yet Novus knows his mistake, and it's been a major, major mistake for
Sid's left.
For the Sauber driver, as Sid Sandwich is left. It's been doing too well for the RB driver. Hopefully getting back in time. But another thing that's going to help Rob here is that everyone behind him has a 3-second penalty. As JSY, Jay's gone at turn 10. That's another thing that's going to help Rob.
Luckily for Ghost in there, he didn't affect anything. Yeah. Unfortunately for Novus, this is so unfortunate. He should have just come in for wet tyres, but I mean, this almost looks like it's closer to wet tyres rather than Inters right now. He's going around so cautiously, and that's really his race over now, unless there is another late safety car. But Robsu at the moment, like I said, he is the driver that everyone wants to try and get past, and the Flow needs to do this quickly, and so does the Wizard of Oz, and then pull a 3-second gap to him. But at the moment, the Aston Martin is holding his own. He's up 8 positions from 9th on the grid, and they're going extremely slow now. I'm wondering if they're even going to box for wet tyres here.
Well, if you're Novus, you've got nothing to lose, but I think it's far too early for wets. It is firmly intermediate conditions.
Oh, he's done it again.
Oh no! You know, I wonder if Novus has a glitch in that game. Yeah. Oh, Jay!
Safety car. Oh, it is. Oh, and literally Novus is literally just retired, knowing that he put softs on again. Dry tyres on.
Jay's moonwalking.
Oh, God.
You know, I think Novus had a glitch. Because we saw in F1 Esports as well, I think it was Nicholas Longley, who wanted to pit for dry tyres or inter tyres, and the game refused it. He put him on dry tyres on an intermediate track. I think Novus has that bug. There's no way he wouldn't switch to dry tyres twice.
Well, if he has, that's really
Surely.
unfortunate. But what do you do now? What do you do? You surely, if you'd Robson, you stay out. Yeah.
Oh no, there's no brainer. You stay out. Everyone's on inters. There's no reason to pit.
I think maybe potentially some of the guys though might try and think, well, you know, these tyres aren't. They're already how many laps are? Well, actually no, they're only sort of 3 or 4 laps. For someone like Panic End or Button, yeah, come in and get another set, and that's what Button's doing. Whether or not he's going to be able to rise through the field, invite didn't work. Okay, no worries, Sid. I'll give you another one. Luckily for you, safety car is out, and you won't lose any more places. So just bear with me, mate. I'll get another one sent over to you now.
Lap 22 in Australia as the heavens have opened for everyone on track. And I tell you what, Sid is going to survive this one because he still isn't back in the lobby. Hopefully, we do get him back in before the race ends. I see that Jay's left. He's retired from the race in the pits. So then number 12, Panic End and Button outside of the points. Major Allen's in 10th. JSY after that spin in 9th. Magic Ram in 8th. Davidson up to 7th. Radical and Locker have recovered well to 5th and 6th. But now, can any of them break away from the pack and challenge Rob Sue? Because right now the Flow and Wizard of Oz inherit 2nd and 3rd, but they've got a time penalty to come at the end of the race as well. I've looked at the penalties graphic. The Flow and Wizard of Oz on 3 seconds. Magic Ram and Aviation GSY also on 3 seconds. But to my knowledge as well, looking at the stewards report from last week, Oz has a 5-second penalty to serve post-race. So if he does want to win this, he's got to pull at minimum 8 seconds on Rob Sue, who I would give credit right now and say they have drove a brilliant race that they have controlled to their own pace, and everything has fell in place for them. But the job is not done yet, as at this restart we're going to have 6 laps to decide our winner for the second time this season. As JSY's in the pits. Is this for fresh inters? So that's going to be a final stand here, I think, for JSY. Just fresh tyres and go for it for Mercedes as well as the McLaren of Panic End. A race leader at one stage, but a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane has derailed their performance. Is now down in 12th. I don't know what it is as well, but starting in the front row, it just hasn't worked so far. Because I believe, if I'm correct, Button started on pole around Bahrain. He finished 4th. Sheriff Woody Wizard of Oz started on pole tonight and got a drive-through penalty, but is now somehow back up in 3rd. I don't know if he's going to stay there though. So I think we found out a curse for Tier 3. Don't start in the front row.
Yeah, have a bad quality and then make it up in the race. Well, you have to say, you know, Sheriff Woody last week I think started P7 and won the race. Rob Sue, in the position he's at the moment, started P9. He's now in the lead of this race. The Tatted Stars put in the chat driver of the day at the moment. Well, I think at the moment it has to go to one of 2 people, and that would be either Rob Sue or Sid at the moment, but it obviously all depends. We've still got 6 laps to go. I probably would say Robsu actually got a fantastic start and then kept with the pack, but who knows? We've got 6 laps to go. The safety car is in this lap, and it's down to Robsu to back up this pack.
And I'd like to apologise as well. I've been corrected by people by our admin team behind the scenes. Oz has served that 5 seconds at Bahrain. He doesn't have it for tonight. So if he does want to win regardless, he's got to beat Rob Sue straight by 3 seconds, and that goes for the float as well. He's been pretty much second place for this entire race, all but one. That's when he made his pit stop. But Rob Sue now inheriting the lead, and he's got 6 laps to hold on to that lead and make sure he's within range of at least 3 seconds should the flow or Wizard of Oz take that lead away from him as we get underway for what could be the final time around Albert Park. Rob Sue in the Aston Martin leads him towards turn 1. The flow, Oz, Sid in 4th, having a cracking race of their own. Locker and Radical 5th and 6th. David, Magic Ram, Major Allen and Button top 10 with JSY and Panic End on the fresh inters at the foot of the field, so keep an eye on them on this restart. But Sid looking behind them, having to defend from Locker as Edo's Oz around the outside at turn 4, gets forced wide there by the flow, defending second place with everything they have and hoping here that their fighting and squabbling just doesn't bring them towards the clutches of Locker and Sid, because it looks as though Sid is struggling a little bit to keep ahead of the Red Bull as Edo's Oz now looking for this drag race in towards turn 9 and turn 10. He's going to get the inside line on the flow and the preferred line in towards turn 9, and Oz is now up into second place when at one stage he was rock bottom and last in this race. That Haas has shown great determination to get back to where he wants to be and where he started this race, but the flows are a poor run there out of turn 10. That's now going to put him under pressure a little bit from Sid, who has been heckled by the Red Bulls of Locker as the flows drifting out turn 9, and that's the end plate damage. But for who? Is it Sid? No, it is Sid. Sid's not front left damage.
Oh, that is so unfortunate for him.
Oz is gone.
Oz has gone as well.
Oz has lost it too.
They're literally handing this race to Robsu. Sid, I feel really unfortunate for, because the flow just lost it on entry and Sid's just unfortunately got into the side of him. I don't really think there is a lot he could have done, to be honest. But Sid's now got to fight front wing damage to try and keep the people behind him. But Robsu is absolutely loving this. He's just darting away. 2.4 seconds with 4 laps to go. We just got to keep his nerve down. He's not even using any battery. He's got 100% battery as well, Robsu. So he looks very comfortable at the moment. We're just going to quickly look. I'm just going to quickly look down the pack, and we've got Panikin, Allen, Button all having a battle at the back for the last points place. And as Major Allen there gets a 3-second penalty, oh, he's almost off. He's literally sliding all over the place, is Major Allen, and just about keeps it out of the wall. And now we've got, is it Radical as well now fighting David Lolface for P6. This is such a exciting and chaotic end to this race. The flow now is back past Sid Sandwich, but Robsu is just loving life at the moment. 2.9 seconds, almost up to 3. There's a penalty there for Radical. Just keep your nerve, Robsu, and like he did in Jeddah in pre-season, this will be his race win if he can keep it on track.
Well, easier said than done at this rate. Everyone's sliding on this greasy track. We've got 4 laps left and Robsu has a 2.4 second lead. 2.5 now over the flow as it was JSY making the move on Magic Ram for 8th place. But now a lot more 3-second penalties in the field. Looks like currently David Lawface will take 5th place at the line as Edo's Oz making the move on Lockhart down the inside of the Red Bull at turn 1, and Lockhart down to 5th, but I don't think he'll complain. As long as he's within 3 seconds of the flow, Lockhart will return to the podium as well in Tier 3, and it's been quite a while since that happened. I think back in Season 4, Season 5, quite a while back for Locker to get back on the podium, but he's got a lot of work to do to keep up with the flow, as that gap currently looks as though it is about 3 seconds, and the flow is in clear air, catching up to Robsu and leaving Sid Sandwich eating their spray. 2 seconds now he's broke away from the RB, who looks like he is on for a podium finish himself and a miraculous drive for the RB driver. But Robsu, he's just got that gap currently at 2 seconds, and the flow has to find 5 to beat him and take the win but never say never for the flow. We know what he can do in this tier, but he's got a lot of work to do. We have just about 3.5 laps left. 3.5 lap. I'm just shut up. I'm shutting up my tongue.
I think no one will pit now. It's too late, but it definitely looks like full wet weather now. It is absolutely teeming it, and I think everyone's sliding because those inters now aren't really the tyre to be on. I really think it's the wet tyre. It looks absolutely awful, but no one, like I say, no one will pit this late because of the track position they will lose. Wizard of Oz now is going to try and have a go at Sid Sandwich and can't find the way past, and Sid Sandwich still... Oh, and there we go, there it is! Wizard of Oz is through. And now Sid's now got to try and stay in 3 seconds in order to keep that podium place. He's also got FPRL Locker that will be attacking at the rear of him. The 2 Red Bulls actually, 5th and 6th of Locker and Radical. And it looks like, oh, and the flow, I was just about to say that the flow was clutching Robsu. And all of that advantage has now gone back to him. It was down to 1.5 seconds. Robsu now 3 seconds ahead. 2.5 laps to go. The Wizard of Oz is still not putting a significant gap to Sid at the moment. This could all change in the last 2 laps. It's still very wet out there. It's probably, as I say, too wet now for these tyres. But 2 more laps to go. Can Robsu hang on? He's got an advantage of no, but he's just sliding everywhere. He's doing so well, to be fair to him, to keep this on the track.
Just looking through the spray, you can't even see the Red Bull behind. That's only a second that Locker's behind Sid. But 3 seconds though for the Wizard of Oz in time penalties. Zero's Panic End making their late charge to the points now up in 9th. And it was looking so good for the Ferraris at the start of the race. It's now going to be a single point for them, as I think Button's pitted for full wets, just to see what they can do for the final stages of the race. As Robsu will cross the line, we have 2 laps left at Albert Park. The flow, Wizard of Oz and Sid Sandwich is back in range of the flow. So the flow's had a bad lap there. He's lost time to Robsu and has now invited Oz right behind him. And Sid could be on for second. Locker, if he can keep up, could be on for third. Regardless, a very strong recovery drive for Locker too at one stage. He was also in last place for the Red Bull Radical, recovering from qualifying to be up in 6th, but David will take that away from him if he just stays to the back of him at the checkered flag. JSY having that spin late on, and just see how dangerous this is for everyone, as Sid's lost a little bit of time there too, because Oz has broke away. He's now all over the back of the flow, and that wing damage for Sid might be finally coming back to haunt him here, as he's got a lap and a half left, and everyone's near enough drifting going around turn 6 and turn 7 down this back straight. And if you're Sid here, you're hoping that Flo and Oz can just fight until the checkered flag to keep you within that range of the podium.
Most definitely, and Robsu's got to be careful. I've just checked the race directory. He's on 2 warnings. He does not want a third. At the moment, he can afford for both the Flow and Wizard of Oz to come past and just not drop 3 seconds in the final. As someone's off, and I think it's Magic Ram. Yeah, he's quickly back on track. Sid as well. Can he hold on to P3? Oh, no, he can't, because he's just lost it. And that is not what he wanted. And, I mean, to be fair, he didn't lose as much as I thought he was going to lose, but 2.7 seconds as we go into the last lap. I personally think that Oz is going to pull that gap. It now is 3 seconds. So it's now down to Robsu. Just got to keep the lead. Or, no, he doesn't. He just needs to keep on the track. Don't get a 3-second time penalty, and you can even allow these 2 to come past. Don't drop 3 seconds. It is absolutely treacherous out there. A track like Albert Park, it must be so difficult, especially as they are on the wrong tyres, as Button on those fresh wets has caught Major Allen by about 7-8 seconds on that last lap.
As treacherous as it is, all it takes is a gentle touch and a feather of the throttle for Robsu to just dance almost around these final few corners. And I think, regardless of what happens, this is going to be a monumental drive here from Robsu. He was by no means the fastest in qualifying, but the points are won on the race, and they are won on track, as Robsu has one more sector to go. There are the field chasing him as Locker makes the move on Sid for 4th. Can he catch up in time and get the podium back? Nope, Sid's going to respond and fight back. You see them in the background. Locker to the inside and takes that place away from Sid. Cruel for the RB driver, but Locker will take 4th. And it's going to be Rob Sue drifting around the final corner to take victory around Albert Park. And it's the Aston, who had a podium last time out in Bahrain, will take the race victory around Melbourne. Rob Sue taking the victory all through the haze and spray as it started off bright and sunny for some. The heavens have opened, but a beaker of light and a gleam of light shines on Rob Sue through the doom and gloom of Australia. The Flow will take 2nd place, Oz will take 3rd, recovering from a drive-through penalty so early on in the race. Locker will take 4th. Sid Sandwich, what could have been without that front wing damage, will still be delighted, I'm sure, with a P5. But Rob Sue, a newest winner in FPRL, and now we'll have the championship lead as we head to next week's race.
What a race. What an absolute cracker of a race, especially when that rain come down. It was so nip and tuck towards everyone, but Rob Sue is the man today that will stand on that top step of the podium, and he just didn't make any mistakes. That was the thing for Rob Sue. There were drivers in front of him at the start of that race. You had obviously Panic End, you had the Flow, you had Novus actually tried to make a bit of a comeback, but then had that glitch potentially where he couldn't get on the right tyres. But Rob Sue comes up from 9th, had a great start, stayed with the pack, and it's then paid off for him. And he takes home the 25 points for Aston Martin. What a drive for him. And it has to be said as well, you know, good races for, to be fair, everyone below. You know, that rain was absolutely treacherous. But I want to say also to Sid Sandwich, you know, he doesn't normally get a lot of points in this tier, but today he can be very happy with a P5 there for the RB team. And David Lolface actually comes up to P6, so well done to him as well. Obviously, many other good drives from people. I'm going to try and get the Flow in, as he's the only one on Xbox that we can get into the party. I don't know if Rob Sue and the Wizard of Oz have the Xbox app. If they do, they're very welcome to join as well. But yeah, no, fantastic race all around.
That was definitely a follow-up there from Bahrain, a tactical race, which Sheriff Woody won, and another tactical race, this time who was on the right tyres at the right time, and it's Rob Sue, 8th place in Bahrain, now a victory around the streets of Albert Park. As I'm actually going to check our Discord server and see if we can get a quick word from Rob or Oz ahead of our podium interview with the Flow.
Yeah, no, the invite's gone out, so we're just waiting on the Flow to come in. But I don't know if he'll be able to. I will send him one more, just in case he hasn't got the first one.
I'm actually here, by the way.
Oh, you are
there
here.
He is. As if by magic.
I don't think it popped up for me, but he is here. So yeah, all good. I don't know if we're going to get the other two in. Do you know what? If we don't get the other two in, let's get Locker in here. Our P4 man. Let's get Mr. Locker in here. Let me invite Mr. Locker.
While you do that, I'm just going to see if we can get a quick word from Rob or Oz through a Discord server, as they are cross-platform. So we can't get them into an Xbox party, but we will get a quick word from them on Discord. So while we have a brief pause, we'll admire the Mercedes, as there's Locker in for a quick chat. And Monkey, it's your pick. Interview our P2 driver, the Flow, or tonight's P4 driver and the Resurgence drive from FPRL Locker.
I will go with my my comms partner from a few seasons back, Mr. FPRL Locker. So first of all, Mr. FPRL Locker, what a race it was for you at the end. You had quite a decent qualifying. Don't know if you were hoping to be a bit further up the grid, but obviously a few incidents throughout the race obviously put you further down, but to come back like you did must have been pretty pleased. So we'll start off with quali. Did you feel like you could be up there with the sort of like the top 3, top 2 fighting for pole today?
Yeah, on my last run, I think I got to like towards the end of sector 2, and I was like 2.5 tenths up, but I drained me battery too quick, so I just lost all the time, which peed myself off, if I'm honest. Sorry for the language, but yeah, I'm still happy with I can't remember, P6, P8 was it?
Yeah, I think potentially it was P8. Yeah. So obviously we're going into the race and didn't quite see. Well, I can't quite exactly remember. Obviously, what happened with you going down to the back of the pack. If you can just sort of give us an idea of what exactly happened to cause you to go back down the field.
I think I was trying to be cautious, and I think somebody else in front of me must have been, and I just didn't react properly, and I just lost part of my wing, so I needed a great fix. And then luckily the amount of safety cars allowed me to sort of jiggle my way through, and when the rain comes as well, that was not pleasant.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But yeah, overall still happy with the recovery, considering I was at the back at the end of lap 1.
Yeah. No. Of course. Then obviously throughout the race as it went on, obviously the rain came, and me and Cruiser were obviously seeing as it got
Yeah,
towards the end, it looked extremely treacherous out there. Was it really wet conditions, but you didn't want to obviously pit because you'd lose the track position?
effectively, yeah. And I will say now, and I'll give you credit, Sid is an absolute nightmare to get past. It was lucky he made that mistake, because I don't think I would have got him. I'll be brutally honest, so credit to him for that. He was a pain to get past, I will say.
Yeah, no, we definitely thought that Sid had a good race ourselves in the box, but no, well done to you, mate. Obviously, P4 finish for you. Hopefully, for yourself, you can next week get back on that podium. But I'm now going to hand over to
Hopefully.
Cruiser, who's going to interview our P2 man.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Monkey, and good job, Locker. Great drive from you. Just get a quick word in from Oz and from Rob Sue, who are just typing away in Discord, so that's good. I do have a quick word from Rob Sue, but I'll get to that after our live interview with P2 driver and a former comms partner of mine, actually, The Flow. First off, welcome back to the podium, first time this season, and just didn't seem like you just to make that extra step up. But talking from the race tonight, the conditions did throw everyone off guard, to be honest. And how did you fare throughout the race?
Yeah, it was obviously for a few drivers trying to get until the wet conditions with the hard tires. So I was one of them. But yeah, with the amount of safety cars, I think we get a bit lucky actually, because I think if we would have raced all the laps around the track with no safety car, our hard tires would have been much worse when the rain came. So it was for some part it was good that we had so many safety cars, but it was obviously annoying to always catch the field back up together and then race everyone very close again. I think I tried to overtake Panic End a few times. We played the DRS Chicken a few times, I think. And then when the rain came, it was even worse with grip. And I think someone said before it would have been wetter tires conditions, I think. But I think when you would have pitted 2 or 3 laps before the end, you would have just lost so many track positions. So everyone stayed out in the inters, but it was definitely the podium I worked the hardest for yet.
Definitely didn't look fun there in the final few laps.
Yeah.
But regardless, a P2 and your first podium, as I've said, in the main season, and seeing what you have done before last time out in FPRL, do you think you can go that little bit better and finish off overall on the podium too?
Yeah, let's see. I mean, I think last time around I went P6, so now I should be somewhere in, I don't know, P4, something, P3 maybe even. in the overall standings, and let's see how the next few races work out. I actually don't have a lot of time to practice at the moment, so I am a bit lucky with the traction model, I think. But yeah, seems to work out quite fine for me, and yeah, let's see what the next few races bring me.
Well, next time out, we head to Canada, and it's a sprint race for us. The first of 2 sprints this season in FPRL. So I suppose whatever bit of practice you don't have, you will make up for that in the sprint. But as well, we get a trial at the new sprint format. And just quickly, are you a fan of the new format in the game?
Let's see. I'm not sure what did they take the format from 2023 or
I think the new format is
or the new
sprint races.
format.
The sprint races, the sprint qualifying and sprint are separate entities now. So the sprint qualifying, then the sprint race, main
So we have
qualifying, main
two
race.
qualifyings then, I guess. We have two
Well, there you go.
qualifyings then, or
Yeah,
Pretty much.
you'll have 2 qualifying sessions.
oh yeah. Yeah, let's see how that works out. Yeah, definitely we'll get some practice in the sprint race then.
Well, I suppose some practice is better than no practice. And well done to the flow, P2 tonight. And before we do end off, we'll jump to the hash real quick for a P3 driver, Wizard of Oz. Get a quick word from them through our Discord server. If you guys want to join FPRL, there's a link to our Discord server on Twitch. Nightbot will drop a link to our recruitment server. Complete the sign-up steps, and we'll get you in for next week's race, our sprint around Montreal, Canada. And across our socials as well, Instagram, FairPlayRL, you have a link to our Discord server on there. And our X account, formerly Twitter, FairPlayRL also has that user handle. Oz, our P3 driver, saying, it was a good recovery, especially after the drive-through so early on, which I thought would ruin their race. Could have been a better day without it, but good points for the team, and we move. That indeed is that for Oz, a good recovery from them, from a drive-through to 3rd. And Rob Sue, our race winner tonight, saying that he didn't expect this win at all. This year's handling doesn't suit me and I'm still learning. I'm way off the pace, but about the race, it was at first a bit boring, but when the race started, then it began to get interesting. Managed to pit at the perfect time for inters, and after that it was a smooth race to the finish line. Oh, I certainly wouldn't say smooth sailing for the last 5 laps, when it was near enough powerboat racing. But Rob Sue, our newest winner in FPRL, following up from the Jeddah pre-season, taking their maiden win in Tier 3. And that's going to be it for tonight. Another eventful race around Albert Park. And Mr. Monkey Boy Kurt, our Drive of the Day candidate, who is going to get your vote?
I was on mute. Yeah, I was on mute.
Speechless.
Yeah, I was on mute.
We've all done it.
Monkey Boy Pratt will call me for the next 5 minutes. But yeah. So yeah, no, definitely a couple of candidates tonight that I feel are worthy of it. Some people are probably going to say to me, Monkey, you're getting a bit boring, always picking the race winners. But I don't really think you can look past the race winner tonight. He's come up from 9th on the grid. He's held his nerve in the wet. He's made the strategy decision at the right time, and he was that dark horse even throughout the race when the dry weather was obviously happening. So I think tonight the driver of the day has to go to our race winner, which is Rob Sue. So well done to him. I would just like to say though, a quick little shout out. It almost would have had the driver of the day, but obviously with Rob Sue getting the win from where he started, I think Sid definitely deserved a shout out tonight. Obviously to finish in P5, not likely that we see him that high up, and especially in those conditions, he can definitely give himself a pat on the back for tonight's race.
That he will. I think high fives all round for Sid, finishing in P5, and Rob Sue, again, a massive congratulations to them for winning around Albert Park. As I said, FPRL will be back next week for Tier 3 on the 7th of August as we head off to Montreal, Canada, and the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. But before that, we have 2 more races this week in Australia. The Tier 3 race where you'll see myself and Monkey Boy Kurt on track with the rest of the Tier 3 field. As Mercedes picked up... As Mercedes picked up a 1-2 finish in Bahrain. Will they follow it up in Australia? We'll find out on Wednesday night, which will be the 31st of July. before our Tier 1 drivers on Friday, the 2nd of... Actually, yes, it's the 2nd... No. Is it the 4th of... No. Regardless, this Friday, FPRL Tier 1, 8 PM UK time, you'll see our Tier 1 drivers take on Albert Park. I've tripped over my tongue for the past like 10-15 minutes. I need to lie down. I'm probably not going to play Pro Clubs after this. But regardless, that has been Monkey Boy Kurt.
Yeah, thanks guys. Cheers for watching.
And that as well, following from me, Cruiser1872. A big thank you everyone for tuning in and for watching. And from all of us here at FPRL, good night.